proceeds, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. Obviously, I'm still playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's terrific. I'm still very much enjoying it. I am going a little too fast. I mean, I know it's shorter than the first Spider-Man game, because it's not necessarily a full sequel, it's sort of an expansion sequel. So I'm already like in the 60% finished. So I've been doing as many side quests and collection things as possible to get to drag it out a little more. Also, of course, I've been playing and tinkering with photo mode. Like every 5 minutes I'm pausing the game to tinker with photo mode. And I've gotten some really nice shots out of it. Like, I discovered that the animated series costume, because once you're in photo mode you can just swap costumes automatically. You don't have to be in the costume when you pause the game. It's perfect. So you can swap costumes to look like how you want to look like. And there was a really cool pose, and I decided I wanted to make a comic book panel out of it. So I switched to the animated version, and that made it look much more comic booky with the word balloon in the caption and the panel and everything. And that was really cool. I also had a very popular photo that everyone was very impressed by, and I really liked too, where Miles is just perched on the edge of Avengers Tower, and that was a very cool kind of silhouette sort of shot. And then of course there's the, I'm sure you've all heard about the Bodega Cat, and I've mentioned it in earlier episodes and as well. The mission where you go to rescue the Bodega Cat, you put him in your backpack to bring him back to the bodega, and so of course I had to take a picture of Spidey and Spider-Man the cat, and someone on Twitter commented on that photo and said, "These graphics are ridiculous." And I had to point out that I was actually playing on the PlayStation 4 version, not even the PlayStation 5 version, and the graphics were still ridiculous. And that leads me into this episode's main topic, which is the PlayStation 5, because I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet. And I don't know when I'm going to get one, because a whole bunch of people, I have friends who were like pre-ordering and getting them at launch, and honestly, the last PlayStation that I bought at launch was the PlayStation 1, because I bought into the hype, and I pre-ordered it at GameStop, and I had to have it. And as you might recall, the PlayStation 1 launch library was not the best, and I ended up buying like a bunch of kind of crappy games to justify my purchase, which makes no sense because the games ended up being crappy, so I'm basically throwing more money away to justify spending all that money on the console that, as a recent college graduate, I did not quite really have to spend. So that put me off getting consoles at launch. The only consoles that I have since pre-ordered for launch day release were the Wii, because it had a Zelda game, and it came with Wii Sports, which was secretly awesome. And then I pre-ordered a Switch because there was a Zelda game, because Nintendo knows you need to have a system seller game. And it was very weird to me with this console launch that not only did Microsoft and Sony not really have a system-selling console exclusive, the games that were available were also available on the previous version of the systems, you know? Which is why I bought Spider-Man for my PS4 instead of, you know, I spent $50 to get Miles Morales and play it on my existing system, rather than spend $550 to buy a whole new system to play it so it looks prettier and plays faster and whatever. But it's weird because all the games that are coming out are also playable on the older versions, and I'm just like, what is this, what? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. I was befuddled. And then I read an article online, it was like a roundtable discussion of the new video game systems, and someone made a comment, and it all clicked. They compared this console release generation to smartphones. And it was like a little light bulb went off, and I went, that's exactly it. Because with smartphones, you upgrade to the next, you know, iPhone or Android or whatever, Like, you buy your phone and then you will eventually upgrade to the next version of that phone. And it's not that it does anything different. It does the same things. It runs the same apps, it takes pictures and texts and makes phone calls. It just does them better, faster, with more memory, a nicer camera. You know, it's just incremental upgrades. But you want it because it does everything better and it does everything faster and it's the sexy new version, and you want that. And I've never been like that with my phones. Like, I always let a few generations go before I upgrade my phone. Because they're expensive. And, and now they're really expensive. But, it's just, it doesn't, like, once I get to the point where my phone is, like, I see, like, the photos that I'm taking are not as good as everyone else's phone's photos, and when it's, like, really, really slow to open Facebook and stuff, and then, like, the battery only lasts half the day, then I'm like, okay, fine, my battery won't last the whole day, I should probably upgrade. Like, I don't know what Samsung is up to now, the Galaxy 10, I think maybe the 11 is due out soon, maybe, I'm not sure. Is there a 12? I don't know, because I'm still using my 8. I have a Galaxy S8, it still works and the battery lasts all day, and it takes nice pictures, and it's still pretty fast, and I don't notice that it sucks, so I don't feel the need to upgrade it. But that's what I think they're right, that's what the new console generation is. It's like an incremental upgrade, and it's faster, it's prettier, and it has more memory, and it'll do everything the previous generation did, it just does it better. And, like, that's just weird to me, because I'm like, okay, so I'm supposed to just buy a new PlayStation and play all the same games, because it's like your phone, it does all the same apps, it just does it faster with a nicer screen or something, you know, a higher resolution. So it's like, okay, so I'll play all the same games, just they'll be better somehow. And it's just, it's an interesting mindset, but then it all clicked, because, you know, that makes sense, because there aren't any PlayStation 5 exclusives that are, like, due out. Like, I've looked around and, like, I thought, like, it made sense, like, Spider-Man's not going to be an exclusive because it's, you know, not a full game, technically. It's, like, a big add-on. But, like, I thought, oh, well, the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, that will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, so it can be on the PlayStation 5 and be amazing. But that's also coming off the PlayStation 4, which is like, so when am I supposed to buy a PlayStation 5? Like, at some point, they're going to stop supporting the 4, and they'll just make PlayStation 5 games, but, or they'll make something that can only run on the 5, and it's just going to be so borked on the 4 that there's no point in releasing it. Because that's the thing, is I feel like these games right now, like Miles Morales and, like, the Horizon sequel, they're, like, PlayStation 4 games that are enhanced for the PS5. They're not PS5 games that are, like, dumbed down for the PS4. So you're like, oh, I want to play the PS5 version because the 4 is, like, terrible, you know? But it's just, the whole mindset is weird, and I'm just like, when am I supposed to upgrade? But the thing is that I know that I'm going to. Because, as you know, I mean, if you're a regular watcher of these video podcasts that I do, I have very bad willpower, and I will go and buy the next thing. I will buy that new game, even though I haven't finished this one, because I want to play that game. So this is a little different, because I would like to get a PlayStation 5, but it's not really necessary. And of course, in the back of my mind, I'm sort of justifying it by saying, well, I don't have a 4K Blu-ray player for my 4K television, so if I buy a PlayStation 5, and I get the one with the disc version, then I can you know, start watching 4K Blu-rays, and it'll look amazing on my TV. Except for the fact that the argument doesn't quite work, because I've realized that the television that I bought automatically upscales everything, so whenever I watch, like, a Blu-ray or anything in 1080p, it upscales it to close to 4K quality, which is why I feel like I'm not really noticing a major difference between watching a Blu-ray and watching a 4K. But, like, yes, the PlayStation 5 it'll be faster, there's, like, practically no loading times, there's, like, prettier graphics, and it'll be 60 frames per second and, like, 4K ultra high def, and, like, that'll be kind of cool. So I am sort of going to justify this in my mind at some point, But it's weird because it's like, I'm starting to think, like, okay, I want to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but then maybe I'll wait until I have a PlayStation 5 so that I can play Valhalla and it'll look as gorgeous as it possibly can. I just, I mean, the thing is that I'm not buying a PlayStation 5 now because, well, they aren't available. They're all sold out. They're probably going to get more in stock for Black Friday. Those will go in 5 minutes. And then I'm sure they'll restock in December so that they can have it for Christmas. So, I'm not going out of my way. I'm not going to try to pre-order. I'm not going to try to, keep an eye out for when they get them back in stock at Best Buy, because I am getting at Best Buy because I want my points, my reward points. So I'm figuring somewhere in like January, February or so, maybe in February for my birthday, I'll treat myself to a new PlayStation 5, a nice shiny new PlayStation 5, and then I can get Assassin's Creed Valhalla and enjoy the glorious graphics, because I've seen the pictures and they look beautiful, and part of me is starting to get suckered into the whole PS5 thing where I'm like, I sort of want to play Valhalla, but I want it to look that amazing, so I don't think it'll look that amazing on my PS4, and I want to have a PS5 so it'll look as amazing as humanly possible as I explore Old England. So I am starting to get into that mindset that I think Sony wants you to get into, where you're like, yes, you can play it on your current system, but don't you want the shiny new PlayStation 5 and it'll look amazing and no load times and give us your money? And they're gonna get my money. I just need it to be like in stock regular, where I can just like go on Best Buy and be like, okay, buy now, pick up in store, and then I'll just walk down to Atlantic Center and pick it up and bring it home. So we'll see when that is. Come back next time. I will likely have finished Spider-Man by then, so I'll have that to talk about, and whatever I start next. What will that be? Bye!